letting the cat out. Letting the cat out. Let's have a look. Who have we got? Who's in bed? Who's set their alarm for like 1 minute to 7? And that's all right. There's usually less on a Sunday. Gail, you're getting a bit hot on these medals, Gold. Gold medal Gail again. Well done. Tracy, good morning. You've got a silver. And Deborah Ashton, good morning. You've got a bronze. Morning, Gilly, how are you? Number 4. And Leanne, hiya, number 5. Morning, Fliss. Morning, Deborah. Let's see how many we get on. Right. Oh, let's have a look. What have we got this morning? Magical outcomes. I need a drink of water. Let me just get my water. How is everybody? How are your practices going? What did we have yesterday? Heart magic. Did you do much heart magic yesterday? Ooh. Do you know what? I had a Chinese takeaway last night, and I've not, it must be 12 months since I've had a Chinese takeaway. And me and Simon shared one. And I'm a vegetarian, I had crispy shredded beef. I just fancied it. I say vegetarian 95% of the time. And oh my God, this morning, I feel like I used to feel when I've been on a staff party and drunk 4 bottles of wine and 10 gin and tonics. My mouth was like that. There must be all that MSG in it. We only had half one, I didn't have a big portion. So I just thought I'd share that with you. Are we ready to rumble? Morning, Margaret. Right, this morning we have magnificent outcomes. So are we going to get 100 on a Sunday morning at 9 a.m? There we go, 101. How amazing. Oh, please do share. I forgot to tell you. And it's really bizarre, you know, but when you forget to ask, people forget to do it. And that's all right, because I'd forget. So honestly, the people who are still sharing, thank you so much. The people who aren't sharing are still showing up. Thank you so much. The people who are watching on catch up, thank you so much, honestly, to all of you. So day 21, and then we've just got a week left. It's relentless, isn't it? I mean, the Sunday mornings I was going to record, so then I felt like I was having a day off. But I tried it the first time and it just wouldn't upload, so it was more hassle than it was worth, so I'd rather just get up and do it. And I like a bit of bants, as you know. So let's have a look. Some magical outcomes. Are you sitting comfortably? Have you shared it? If you look what that is. You can see the Christmas tree with no baubles on it yet, just lights. I'll show you it after this. It's like a 9-footer. We put the lights on it yesterday. I've gone for a few coloured ones as well this year, because my lovely cherry lights that I've had for years broke last year. So, oof. Right then, magnificent outcomes. This little paragraph is by G.K. Chesterton, a writer, 1874. So, you say grace before meals, all right. But I say grace before the concert and the opera, and the grace before the play and the pantomime, and the grace before I open a book, and grace before sketching, painting, swimming, fencing, boxing, walking, playing, dancing, and grace before I dip the pen in the ink. Well, good on you, G.K. Chesterton. So, we all want good outcomes to everything we do. In giving thanks before he performed an action, the writer Gilbert Keith Chesterton used the magic of gratitude to guarantee the outcome he wanted. You will have had times when you may have thought to yourself, I hope this goes well, or I hope this turns out okay, or I'm going to need a lot of luck for this. All these thoughts are hoping for a good outcome to a situation. But life doesn't happen by chance or because of a stroke of luck. The laws of the universe operate mathematically to the finest possible degree that is something you can count on. A pilot doesn't hope that the laws of physics will keep working during his flight, because he knows the laws of physics will never fail. You don't go into your day and hope that the law of gravity will keep you on the ground so you don't float off into space. You know there's no chance at play, and gravity's law will never fail. If you want magnificent outcomes to everything you do, then you have to use the law that governs outcomes, the law of attraction. That means you have to use your thoughts and feelings to attract magnificent outcomes to you. And being grateful for magnificent outcomes is one of the simplest ways to do it. So let's have a look. Because hope, I did a video on hope actually the other day. I talk a lot about hope. And how people say, oh, I hope I can do that. Or I hope I'm going to lose weight. Or I hope I can do that 5K. Or I hope. And like I've said, hope gets you all nowhere really. Because so many people hope. They'll have a plan and they'll get a bit inspired. Oh, I hope I'm going to do it. And then they stop and they just wait for something to happen. You know, hope. Just imagine it done instead. So the magnificent outcomes practice is being grateful before you do something you want to go well. You could be grateful for the magnificent outcomes. She gives a lot of examples here, so bear with me. It's repetitive for a reason, so I'm going to read it word for word. You could be grateful for the magnificent outcome to the work meeting, job interview or exam. The magnificent outcome to the sports game, phone call, catch up with a friend or seeing your mother-in-law. You could be grateful for the magnificent outcome to your exercise routine, your pet's vet appointment, or your medical or dental checkup. You could be grateful for the magnificent outcome when an electrician, plumber, and/or tradesperson is addressing a problem in your home. The magnificent outcome to a family outing, conversation with your child about their behaviour, or heart-to-heart with your partner. You could be grateful for magnificent outcome to a purchase you will be making, such as a birthday gift, engagement ring or wedding dress, or the magnificent outcome to choosing a new mobile phone, a new carpet, curtains or renovation company. You could be grateful for magnificent outcome for a reservation at a restaurant or great seats for a concert. The magnificent outcome to your daily mail, your daily emails or your tax returned for the year. If it helps you to believe in the magical power of gratitude to create magnificent outcomes, and you wave your fingers through the air and imagine you're sprinkling magic dust over the event you want to turn out magnificently. Magnificent outcome, it's a hard couple of words to say together. I feel like I'm doing a tongue twister. I thought I did quite well then. But yes, I often do that, you know, for something. I sometimes do it if I'm feeling, I know this sounds daft, but if I'm feeling in a bit of a bad mood, which is a lot the last year, frigging hormones, it's just horrendous, isn't it? I feel like a hormonal teenager again when I was like 15. It's just does my head in, and I know I can be an arse. So say if I've been out walking and I'm just that way out, I know I'm just going to come in and start picking and I just tend to walk, because I'm walking towards the house, I'll do a bit of that. I'll just like, as if I'm going to do that with my hair, and I'll do that. And I'll just sprinkle dust. Come on, Sally. Magnificent outcome. I don't actually say that to myself because I can't struggle to say it, to be honest. And it's just sometimes enough to create a bit of awareness of how I'm choosing to behave. So that was just my little snippet on it. Another time to use gratitude for magnificent outcomes is when something unexpected happens during your day. When something unexpected happens, very often we can jump to conclusions and immediately think there's something wrong. For example, you arrive at work and are told that the boss wants to see you right away. The problem with jumping to conclusions and thinking there's something wrong is that the law of attraction says that you think and feel you will attract. So instead of jumping to conclusions and thinking you might be in trouble, take that as an opportunity to make the magic happen by being grateful for a magnificent outcome before it's even happened. Right, listen to this, please. Let's have a look. Oof. Let's have a look. If you miss your bus or train on your way to work, or miss a flight or are unexpectedly delayed, instead of thinking this is bad, be grateful for the magnificent outcome so that you put the magic into motion to receive magnificent outcome. If you're a parent and you're asked to attend an unexpected meeting at school about your child, instead of thinking there's a problem, be grateful for the magnificent outcome. If you receive an unexpected phone call, email or letter and the thought flashes into your mind, I wonder what's wrong, immediately be grateful for the magnificent outcome before you pick up the call or open the email or letter. Most of the time, you will see and experience the magnificent outcome you asked for, and occasionally you won't even know how you benefited from an unexpected outcome. But when you ask for a magnificent outcome and feel sincerely grateful for it, you are using the mathematical law of attraction, and you must receive a magnificent outcome back somewhere at some time, absolutely guaranteed. Now, you might think that's a load of shite because you think, well, take it for instance, getting the phone call from school and your son's called George and he's in year 6 and you get a phone call from the secretary, hi, we wonder if we could arrange a meeting, we could have a chat about George. And you automatically go, oh my God, what's wrong? You know, after you've read the email that's wanting to make an appointment, oh my God, what's wrong? Oh, and it's that awful sinking feeling. Or you know, like you do, you've got to go and see your boss and you think, oh my God, what's wrong? Why do we do that? That is our automatic default. Would you, if you got a phone call from school, can you come in and see about George? What are the chances of you going, oh my God, that's going to be wonderful? We just don't do it, do we? We literally, I reckon, all the time, every time, default to the shit. Now, you could go into school and they could say, there's been a bit of bullying or something, or there's been a thing, and can I just say, George has been amazing. He's such a peacemaker, and would just like to say how amazing he is. But yet we'll have spent a day or two thinking, what's George done wrong? Because it's our automatic default, just like it often is in the morning when we wake up with our whole bloody day, we do it. Oh, it's feels shit, it's going to be crap, rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. So what do? We have a below average, semi-shit day. And so if you're all cynical about this, George might be a bullying little get, you know, and you might go in and you might be getting told that's the truth. But my point is why do we automatically default? I mean, she doesn't really talk about this, Rhonda. I think she's missed a trick. You know, why do we automatically default to the negative? And my mum does it a lot. She does it when we used to drive anywhere, literally, and she still does it now. If we're driving on the motorway, not that I drive with her much now, but when we drive on the motorway, we used to go to a lot of dog shows, and in the distance, in the far distance, she could see some flashing lights up. There was no traffic on the road, there'd just be the flashing lights. And every single time, without fail, oh my God, what's happening here? Oh, well, we're going to be late, we're going to be late. Mum, there's no traffic yet. Yeah, but the lights are on. Oh my God. And she does it all the time. And quite often, more often than not, the lights just haven't been turned. You know, there's a delay in turning the lights off and there just was no traffic. And yet all that angst, that automatic default thinking it's going to be shit. So what I tend to do, and I think probably because I've grown up with that, is when I see flashing lights, there's a tiny second that I think, oh, what's the matter? And I think clear roads, and more often than not, they are. But, so yeah, you can't, if your boss is going to say something, your boss is going to say something. But my point is just be really aware of what your default is. Be aware of what your default. And the thing is, if you concentrate on magnificent outcomes more, it puts you into a more positive state of mind. Let's have a look. Louis, I need a magnificent outcome in finding my missing Christmas baubles. I have a naked tree and just like, it looks lovely just with lights. I'm tempted to leave them off. I tell you now, if there weren't all baubles that we've all collected over the years, I might have a year with no baubles. Why not make it 2020? Bloody hellfire. So, let's have a magnificent outcome for COVID-19. So, So listen here, I'm struggling to say it. The magnificent outcomes practice is being grateful before you do something you want to go well. I've read that, thank God. Right. Just bear with me. Right. If you miss your bus or train on your way to work, or you miss a flight, or an unexpected delay, instead of thinking this is bad, be grateful for the magnificent outcomes that you put the magic into motion to receive a magnificent outcome. Oh, look, I've this examples here. Right, so be grateful for the magnificent outcomes that you can put the magic into. So why do we do that? Again, straight into negative. If you've missed a flight, if you've already missed it, obviously that's not going to feel very magnificent, is it? You're going to be pissed off. But the point is, I feel, is that you've missed it. You missed it regardless. There's nothing you can do about that now. So why go and ruin the rest of your day by, why not create a magnificent outcome thinking, right, you're going to get this sorted, it's going to be do that, and I don't know, you might meet your future husband on the next flight, sat on the plane next to you. There might be a bloody good reason why you missed it. So why treat it for the next, 5 hours, getting pissed off, shouting at the person at the checkout because you didn't do your snooze button. Anyway, if most of the time you will see and experience the magnificent outcome you asked for, and occasionally you won't even know how you benefit from it. But when you ask for magnificent outcome and feel sincerely grateful for it, you are using the mathematical law of attraction, and you must receive magnificent outcome back. I've read this. What's going on, Sally? Or have I not? If you're using the mathematical law of attraction, you must receive magnificent outcome back somewhere at some time. Absolutely guaranteed. I think it's because I've just read it last night and I'm remembering it. Right, whenever you find yourself thinking there's chance at play with something in your life, or thinking you have no control over something, or when you find yourself hoping something will turn out well, remember there's no chance for the law of attraction. You will get what you're thinking and feeling. Gratitude helps protect you from attracting what you don't want, bad outcomes, and it ensures you get what you do want, magnificent outcomes. And that's gratitude. When you are grateful for magnificent outcomes, you are using universal law and changing hopes and chance into faith and certainty. When gratitude becomes your way of life, you automatically go into everything you do with gratitude. And that is the difference. Knowing that the magic of gratitude will produce magnificent outcome. And it's all like when we thought about the money in the past and all the things we've received that we've been grateful for, how that made us feel grateful. So then you're more aware of it. So then when somebody brings you something, or you buy something you really love in a shop that was half price and you're really grateful for that, and then you bump into a friend outside that you've not seen for years and you're really grateful for that. And then, that made you an hour late on your car park, and you go back. And that's a perfect example for wanting a magnificent outcome. You think, shit, I'm an hour late, and I do this a lot. Not that I'm an hour late a lot, but every time I am late, I'm just thanking the car, thanking everything. I don't have a parking ticket, and no, you shouldn't say it like that. And imagine a clear windscreen. That's all I do. I imagine a clear windscreen, and literally, more often than not, definitely, there's no parking ticket. Sometimes there is. Not that I get a lot of parking tickets, but more often than not. And the point is, rather than going, oh my God, Jesus Christ, I'm going to get a bloody parking ticket. You're just training yourself to become this more positive person. And I think that's the whole simple point of this book that she forgets to mention. It's just the whole thing is just training you to have your default as a more positive outlook. And that is the goal for me. And that's why I did it. And that's why it worked for me. So all these things, you wanting a magnificent outcome, it's easier and it's more healthy and it feels better to think positively about it than think shit about it. Right. So then, the more you practice magnificent outcomes and make it a daily habit, the more magnificent outcomes. I can't wait for this chapter to be finished. I'm sick of saying those words. I know that's not very zen, considering the book I'm reading, but you try saying it 5 times. You will attract into your life less and less. You will find yourself in situations that you don't want to be in. You won't find yourself in the wrong place at the wrong time. And no matter what happens in your day, you will know with absolute certainty that the outcome will be magnificent. So at the beginning of today, choose 3 separate situations. You can do this today. Oh, excuse me while I itch my boob. At the beginning of today, choose 3 separate situations where you would like magnificent outcomes. You can choose 3 things that are important to you in your life currently, such as a job interview coming up, an application for a loan, an exam, or a doctor's appointment. You can also start by selecting 3 things that are normally humdrum activities for you, because when the magic happens to those humdrum activities, you will be really convinced that you attracted the magnificent outcome. For example, you could choose your drive to work, doing the ironing, going to the bank or post office, picking up the kids, paying the bills, or collecting the mail. Right. Quick question. If you've got to deliver somebody to the train station, say you've had a visitor, like when Ben comes up to London and we're going back to the train station and you chance it, you're setting off a bit late. What are you thinking on the way to the train station? Oh my God, the traffic's going to be bad. Oh my God, it's awful. You're really pissed off that you're late because really you weren't organised and you should have just left earlier, but you haven't done. And it's awful, that stress that we create ourselves, that needless stress. There's enough stress going on with stuff we can't control, like COVID, what's gone on this year. We can't control that, but we can control how late we leave it to set off to the train station. How many things in your life are you creating more stress for because of that sort of stuff? And not only that, it's a double whammy. Because you've left it late, because you've not organised yourself, you know, it could be something like writing your Christmas cards. You might have already written them by now, and we have. They usually all stacked up, ready to go, but they're not this year. But anything that you've not done, you've not organised yourself, it's a double whammy. You're pissed off that you haven't done it, so it doesn't get done, or you're late, or you miss the train. But then the angst and shit that creates, and that perpetuates on to create more of the same. That's why when people, how many times you hear people say, oh, I've had a shit of a day, and then they just ream off all this stuff that's gone wrong. And when people say that, I think, well, I'm not surprised, you know, or I've had a shit week, I've had a shit this, I've had a crap that. So let's have a look. So make a written list of 3 situations you've chosen. Now, there could be small things. I'm wanting a magnificent outcome to get that tree finished decorating with Nancy and Joan, Simon and I, and it'll probably take us about a couple of hours to shove all the balls on and do all that. But the one good thing about doing how we've done it this year, because of COVID, I put my stair garlands up 2 weeks ago. I did my outdoor lights last weekend. The tree went up yesterday and put the lights on it, and now today we're just putting the baubles on. So I'm going to do it like that next year, I tell you, rather than doing it, trying to get it all done in a day, and it's stressful. So if you've got your tree to decorate yet, or if you've got to go and buy your tree, you might not even have done it yet, and it's fine, it's only not even December. But say if you are going to do it in 2 weeks' time, you can create a magnificent outcome now. I'm going to go and find the perfect tree, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to be able to put it up. And yesterday, for the first time ever in our lives, I was upstairs, I was having a shower, and Sam came down, he puts the tree up, and Nan said, oh, it's a bit crooked. And he says, Dad, straighten it, he'd sawn it off at the wrong angle. And I came down and shoved it where it goes, and every single time, no matter what, I stand there and I get him to do the 360-degree turn. Right, no, back a bit, no, keep going. And I'm like that. Why do women do that? And I'm like that, looking at the angles. Right, let me look at it from the kitchen, let me look at it from the lounge. right, now keep going, we may as well go all the way around now, Si. And literally I came down yesterday and it was just there, looking lovely. I said, you know what? I said, "Oh, should we move it?" I said, "I don't know if we need to move it, you know." And there was a part of me going, move it, go on, move it. You'll regret it if you don't. There might be a better angle, you know, because it's pushed up against the glass doors. And I had to really fight with it. And I thought, no, that's a magnificent outcome. I didn't think it then because I'd not read this chapter by then. But that is. So it could be doing your tree. You might not be doing it for another 2 weeks, but why not have it as a magnificent outcome? And instead of thinking, oh my God, I've got to do the tree, no, I've got to be quiet. Because I woke up this morning a bit anxious, I'll be honest. I get anxiety sometimes. It didn't help that I had a bloody dry mouth. Felt like a bloody horse trough. Oh, I tell you. But I woke up and usually the children's stockings that we get, I don't know why I'm whispering, but Joe gets up about now. The children's stockings and they also get a stocking, you know. They will do. I still get one off my mum. They're usually all wrapped up by now and done. And they're nowhere near. They're not even organised. We shove them all in the loft. TK Maxx, you can't beat it. For stocking fillers, I've got to do Nancy's advent calendar that still hasn't been done and put all the little things. I get really cheap little things and bags of pretzels and put them in a box thing. And all that's got to be done. And they're all in the back of the loft. And then I get angsty because Simon doesn't think to do it. Don't get me wrong, he'll help. Of course he will. If I ask him to do it, he'll go and get them out because I can't because I'm back. So he'll do it, but I get resentful that it's not in his head of to do things. Why is that? It's unfair. It's a bit unfair, I think, that a lot of women, I know I'm generalising, so, you know, I'm not asking for your forgiveness. I know I'm generalising, but you do the statistics and I'll be right. Why it's the women, even though you're working full time and you're running, you know, you're doing what you do, it falls to them to do that sort of stuff. And so I woke up this morning thinking, I've got to do it before Nancy wakes up because she's in and out everywhere. And it's harder when they're older, your children, because you don't have the same amount of time because they're hanging around all the time at night. And so I thought, right, Simon, while I'm doing my life, Simon's going to have to get that stuff out of the loft. And I was getting angsty and I could feel myself starting to get pissed off. And then when he was down here, I came down and I felt the need to tell him that I'm a bit pissed off really, that you don't think to do it. You know, putting my shit onto him. But I wasn't wanting a magnificent outcome. I really was. This has really helped me today, this book, because I was just thinking about the negativity of it and, oh, we haven't done it yet and we've usually done it by now. And I don't like working on a Sunday because I've really tried to make an effort not to work on a Sunday because I realise my whole life is just work. I mean, I don't mean to sound crude, but this is me working. I love it. I absolutely love it, don't get me wrong, but I'd rather not do it on a Sunday and from a Saturday afternoon because we just weren't taking time off. So I'm slightly anxious about that. And then because I want to come in and do the videos, the comments, I always do, but I'll just do them now and then I'll leave them. So if you're watching on catch up and you comment, I probably won't do that till tomorrow. So it doesn't mean to love you any less, but I just want to take it's hard to take mental time off. But certainly if you're not taking physical time off, you don't take mental time off. So I was just getting really angsty. And then I'm worrying about all the, some of the emails for the tribe. So we use Active Campaign and some of them I don't know, we're checking it with Active Campaign. So I'm thinking there's some people who've yet to join the Facebook group. And then we're going to have to end up working probably the whole day really. Well, not on here, but other stuff behind the scenes. And, sorting stuff out. And then I get a bit anxious, new people have joined the tribe, I can't wait. And I hope they're going to like it. And then you start telling this story to yourself. So let's have a look. Oh, it's just gone off. It's like, oh, I'm nearly done. Oh, God, my boobs are tetchy. Right, we're nearly there. Let me just see. Is it coming in? Is anybody there? Is the Wi-Fi still on, Si? Oh, it's all back on, it's on. So I don't know what happened there. So, right then. So I'm nearly done. I'm going to just put you on this mirror for a moment, near the lights. I'm nearly done. Oh, that's not very good, is it? I'll slow you down a bit. Stick you on. So, the magnificent outcome. Yeah, no, thank you, Deborah. You know, I am, because I was going to record these on a Sunday, but it was more hassle than it was worth. And I do love doing it. And sometimes it's just how it is. So I'm not complaining, but I do what I do, but all I'm pointing it out for is that I can do it with a different attitude. So certainly like we're doing the children's stockings and stuff, instead of getting angsty, just be grateful for it. And do you know what, I'm going to go upstairs after I've done this work with you, and I'm going to spend an hour sorting out their stuff, because you need to reassess what you've bought over the months, little bits here and there, because I forget. So I just need to do I call it a stocking check. So I just need to check it all, get it all out, have a visual check, and then shove it all back, and then just finish off this week. And then you think, once that's done, and then I can focus on the work and what have you. Well, I'll focus on the work anyway. So make a little, so that's going to be on my list, is the magnificent outcome of doing that job. Make a written list of 3 situations you've chosen for magnificent outcomes. Use gratitude's magical power, and as you write each one, imagine that you're writing each one after it has happened. Thank you for the magnificent outcome, I'm going to say, of me organising all the children's presents, and that they're all wrapped and they're all done. I'm not wrapping them today, but I'm just imagining them in the loft with the sheets on, all done. It's an ace feeling. So that's what my magnificent outcome is going to be. So any 3 things, it could be a big thing, it could be something in the future, you know, it could be you're waiting for a diagnosis, it could be something to do with your mother-in-law, you might have had a big row, you know, so that might need to be a magnificent outcome. For the second step of this magical practice, we've nearly finished, you are going to choose 3 unexpected things that arise today, and use the magical power of gratitude for their magnificent outcomes as well. You could do this practice before you take 3 phone calls, or before you open 3 emails or 3 letters in the mail, before you do an unexpected errand or anything else unexpected that comes up in the day. This part of the practice is not so much about what unexpected events you choose as it is about you practicing gratitude. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, I can't do full-on sneezes because it puts my back out. So you could do... So this part of the practice is not so much about what unexpected events you choose as it is about you practicing gratitude for magnificent outcomes on the little unexpected things. Each time an unexpected event arises, close your eyes briefly, if you can, and mentally say and feel the magic words. Thank you for the magnificent outcome too. So it could be anything. Now, I still have a phobia of people ringing the door. It's all to do from the days of the bankruptcy and the bailiffs and all the undesirables we used to get. Oh, it was awful in the post, and can you sign for this, please? We knew if it was a letter that you needed to sign for, it was a full of shit letter that was going to create more stress. And it used to happen a lot. And so now when the door goes, even now, you know, 4 years on, I still get, I go like that, and it goes a lot at the moment, doesn't it? And so it's probably not too bad at the moment, because when there's deliveries coming, and so you just sort of get a bit blasé. But usually, if the doorbell goes at a weird time, I just go, oh my God, and I go up and I can feel myself getting anxious. So that'd be a perfect one to do for me. Magnificent outcome. It's going to be wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And it's your friend, or it's a delivery man saying, can you take next door? It's not been an undesirable for about 2 years. You know, it hasn't been. Yet I still allow myself to think it might be an undesirable that's going to create stress, an undesirable outcome. So the whole point of this is, and I'm hoping making this clear, is I'm still in the habit of thinking, as the doorbell goes, my default is to go, oh my God, what if it's that? What if it's something we've done wrong? What if it's something we haven't paid? What if it's a big brown envelope and, you know, we've been taken to court by somebody I've made up in my head in my own crap movie. That's what I think as I walk from here to the front door, and I still do it. That's going to attract loads of shit, and that's going to make me feel rubbish, and that's going to make me not want to do my job well, and that's going to make me want to eat far too much chocolate. That's the whole point of this for me, I think. Whereas if I get into the habit of going, oh, the doorbell, I've got a visitor, you know, and just to imagine a magnificent outcome, and then the chances are, because that proves to be true, it's just another delivery. It's just a friend I've not seen for ages who happens to be passing. You know, it's just, that's what it tends to be. So I'm just in a more positive mindset continually. I hope that all makes sense. That's my analogy take on it anyway. So you cannot do this magical practice too much, because the more you practice it, the more magnificent outcomes you will have in your life as a matter of course. But practicing it today will get you into the idea of it. And in the future, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're hoping for a good outcome or thinking you need luck, you immediately turn to the magic of power of gratitude and make magnificent outcomes a certainty in your life. So if you ever hear yourself say, oh, I hope it's going to be good, or I hope England are going to win, or I hope, you know, I hope this, I hope that, just say to that's your key to remember that it is going to be a magnificent outcome. And of course, sometimes your team aren't going to win. Of course they're not. But it's happened regardless. So I spend the time leading up to it in a shit state of mind. That's all it is. So that's it. 3 magnificent outcomes. I want you to write down 3. They might not be till next year, you know. They might not be till next year. So we're wanting to get a Maine Coon kitten. So, you know, the one that we wanted, somebody's reserved it, but then somebody else, and that might not be till February. But that's fine. I'm creating a magnificent outcome that we will get the kitten that we're supposed to get. You know, we are going to get the right one for us, and that's going to be a magnificent outcome, and it's going to give us years of joy. So, do you know what? I know there's always light at the end of the tunnel. There always is, no matter how shit your pain is. So, right, I'm going to go and show you my tree. Let me swip you around. Look at those lights again. Do you know, aren't they just lovely? Look at those. I love that picture. Joe painted that for me made by Joe, 17th of March 2012. Look at that. Look, I'll give you a little tour. My little starbursts. Local garden. A lot of people ask about this. It's on a canvas at Bunty. I was more of a Mandy fan. I loved Mandy, but I always got Bunty as well when I used to get the Tracy comic. But when Tracy stopped going in print, I started getting Bunty. And I remember this exact annual. I used to get Mandy and Bunty every year in my Christmas stocking. 1981. Look at that. It's fabulous, isn't it? I got that for my 40th birthday. So let me just show you. Oh, look at you, who lives in a house like this? There's my garlands up the stairs. I've got a bit of a bird fetish. This is the particularly, bless it. Look at little robins. Right. Oh, look, not put any lights on. This garland, it might look quite pretty from a distance, but we have had this garland. Simon got it when we'd only been together a couple of years, so we must have had it 30 years, and it's getting more and more sparse. There's some places you can't see in here where there's nothing on it, but it looks all right from a distance. Obviously, we had the lights to it. Now look at this. You can't really see in this light. Gone for a few coloured twinklies this year. Look at that. I love a lot of lights. You'll be able to see it better in the daylight. So yeah, it's a big old thing. It's 9 foot and it smells beautiful. We've never had a fake, we've always had a real tree. So all the lights, all the baubles will be going on it today. Let me turn you back round. So yeah, look how tall it is. I have to get a chair to stand on the top. And I know I'm generalising again. Oh, would you leave your husband to put the lights on the tree? Would you? Oh, the help. Oh, he's a great help. And as I'm going round, I'll hold the ball as I'm deciding where they go. It's a skill that you pick up over the years. So that's the tree. I can't wait. We'll put all the baubles on and you should see some of the shite baubles we've got. Literally 25 years of all of us, well, obviously as the children have been born, buying a bauble each every year. So that's for the last certainly 15 years. There's been 5 each every year. So now we don't have any what I used to call filler baubles on the tree. They're just all ones that we've bought. And over the years, they've bought some tacky shit, I tell you, and we could never say no. And over the years, they've chosen some beautiful baubles. And there's this one particular one that Simon bought a few years ago, about 10 years ago, and it's the shittest little bauble you've ever seen. We all take the piss out of it every year. It's hilarious. But I remember Joe once, when he was about 7, we were at Barton Grange, a garden centre about half an hour from us. And that's where we used to go every December and choose our bauble. And he bought these green glitter, this massive bunch of green glitter grapes. They just look like a bunch of piles, green glitter. And they're big. And they just go on the tree. And some of them, they've bought reindeers. Ben had a bird fetish for years. We've got nests of birds, big birds. They go on the tree. I think that's where I get mine. He's probably got his bird fetish from me. But it's hilarious. And it's a shame because Ben's never here now to decorate it. So we have to put his stuff on. And Joe, this will be Joe's last year probably, because he'll be in London. So it's really weird, isn't it, when your life changes. But yeah, it's a magnificent outcome of putting all those on. But then I sit on the sofa. I sit on the sofa here. Oof, well, I don't sit down that often. And then the joy I get, we watched I'm a Celeb last night and I sat here and I wasn't watching the telly. I just sat looking at that because it gives me joy. Oh, right. Yeah, I'm your fitness instructor. Let me get up. Right, so I've just given you a little tour there. Yeah, somebody's asked about the garland. The garland is just a plain garland. It's plain green. Now I've added the lights and the berries. Let me have a look. I'll show it you. And the birds. So I've put the berries on and the lights. I love these little cherry lights. Look at all the little birds. They're all over the place. Look at that's a big fat robin. Look at this one there. And it goes up, but then it stops. But yeah, and then, oh, we have lights down here as well. Let me put these on. Look at me giving you a tour. Wrong light. There. I'm out of breath. And just have those at the end. These lights are the best lights I've bought. I got 3 sets last year. They were from Home Bargains. Home Bargains. Really pretty. And then we've got the Christmas elf. There he is. Si, have you got the presents out of the loft? Oh, for fuck's sake. Can you believe it? He's still not done it. Right, now then, Sally. Already, that practice now has really helped me because I want a magnificent outcome of getting these present sorted. It's just something I want to get done in my head. And if I start getting angsty going, I thought you were going to do it when I was doing my live, that's what we said, then it won't be magnificent. So, bless him, he's got loads to sort out. So I'm just going to wind my neck in, remind myself that what magnificent outcome, that's not going to happen if I start getting all arsey. So I hope that makes sense. So yes, I'll let you know how magnificent it goes. All right then, so have a wonderful, wonderful day. Please do share, and I'll see you tomorrow for the final week. Can you believe we've only got a week left, you know? Do you reckon Sam's in the loft right now? No, he won't be. He's sorting some work stuff out. I'll lock him in the loft. So Deborah's, my magnificent outcome is to be able to put my tree up. It's gone, Deb, your comment's gone now because they're coming up too quick. Oh, again next year. Can't do it this year. I love doing it. Yeah, no, it is nice. So you will get that done. Anyway, have a wonderful day. Enjoy your Sunday. And I'll see you tomorrow, Monday morning, 7 a.m. All right then. Lots of love. Cheerio. Bye.